Hey, y'all out there, y'all already know who it is. Today, we have a review. I know, those haven't been done in a while. So after about a year's hiatus, I figured I'd be getting back into reviews, which I know quite a good amount of y'all appreciate since the last movie car I think I did was the Interceptor. So my reviews tend to get pretty good. My beard looks so bad, but today's just a whatever type mood. So anyway, so we're going to be reviewing a car that I don't think needs an introduction. It's a really nice looking race car. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today's review focuses on the GMP Sunoco Camaro. One small pro tip before I get going: dust your models. I can say that I don't dust them like I should, but just a word to the wise: dust your models. A quick, like this thing is for sunglasses, takes whatever many minutes. Just go over it, your paint. It'll thank you later. Just a pro tip before I get going. This thing did have some on it, so I had to break out the dusting stuff. Okay, so let's get going on this awesome piece of racing history, the Roger Penske number 36 Camaro. This car was actually I think it wound up having a failure in its debut Trans Am season. So I think there was an issue with this car where it didn't finish the race, but then I guess when they got going with the number 36, they were a lot more successful. For people not familiar, Roger Penske was the one that started the whole NASCAR gas can, because back then it was considered cheating to have a whole can that was like, I'm just doing this in scale, was probably like about that tall, was a huge gas can. Like I can't really tell you, but it's the gas cans they use now in NASCAR, y'all know. But Sunoco was kind of the people that kick-started that whole thing, if people don't know, because they started that. And on the Mark Donohue Javelin, they actually used Porsche brakes at one point. So Roger Penske and racing, they were kind of one of the cheaters, so they kind of innovated a lot of Trans Am type stuff. So anyway, I'm going to quit yammering. Let's get on to the model. So you have all the respective sponsors up here. All right. So Western Racing, Sunoco, have Champion, you have Coney, Roger Penske Chevrolet, Fram. Very few sponsors as far as a race car goes, not like what you see nowadays. Very nicely detailed wheels. Of course, I believe the brake discs, the wheels stay stationary. I don't think there's any suspension on this example. No, there's no suspension. But it is an original GMP model. This did have the foam box with all the inserts. Here's the front of this car. There's the splitter. And I believe the grille is a see-through mesh. I'm certain it's a GMP, so I would probably expect that. Got the windshield wipers. The one piece, I guess these were the racing windows, and there's the side there. And then moving on to the back, it says number 434 or number 437 4. I'm not sure if that has to do with the actual serialization of this model. Looks about right. So I guess that's before they did the accurate plates. So this is number. So pretty high production run, but I think I wound up buying this model on eBay for around 130 something, 140. So not too bad. And if you're going to get a Penske Camaro, and yeah, the front wheels are posable. If you heard that click, it clicks into place. First time it did that, I was like, what? So yeah, these don't really like steer, they more or less basically that. And they are connected to the front wheel, which is expected. And then you got the Firestone red lines up here. Now, I want to open the hood, and you're going to see how this car really shines through on the engine details. I'm going to be careful of that exhaust pipe. I thought I was about to knock that off. Hold on one sec. Kind of have to lightly. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, spring and scissor hood hinges. And honestly, man, this car seriously shines when it comes to detail. And all the wiring, plumbing, all that's in there. Underneath the hood, it's white, just like the accurate colors. So they do a very good job. I'm going to zoom in a little here so you can kind of, it's not letting me zoom, but you kind of get the point that this is pretty freaking detailed in terms of the model here. Get to the side here, and I mean all plumbed, all wired. So yes, a very nice model. Okay, so I'm gonna shut that. And my lighting is not great, so I'm sure someone's gonna comment, but whatever. I got a comment about my lighting the last time, so I'll probably wind up picking up one of those halo things for adjusting my camera light on the fly. I don't know what it's called, but as you can tell, the interior is pretty accurate to what you would have seen on an old school Trans Am car. Like GMP, they always get good detailing. You got the harnesses in the back there, like they were set up where they were attached to that roll bar. So that's how these harnesses were. A lot of days now, they kind of just tie them to the roll bar. These looked a little different from what they require now as far as mandates would go. I think now that's what they do in sports car racing, is that they wind up tying them onto the roll bar. They don't go down to the floor like that anymore. So there's that. Then this other side here, another nice shot of the interior. This one, you can sort of see where that kind of comes down to the floor. And I assume that's pretty accurate for what they had. And if you've never heard one of these Trans Am cars start up and looked it up, definitely look it up, because these things have an amazing exhaust note. Alright, so now the trunk, the fuel cell is in the back there. And yeah, my lighting sucks, so kind of just gonna have to bear with me. So yeah, there's the trunk right there, and the fuel cell's red, and it sticks up through the trunk. So that's accurate, because this is where they used to fill them with the gas cans. And then underneath it here, again, you have some brake line details, and GMP, as usual, being the thorough people they are. And what's nice is that these bases were actual die casts. These weren't plastic bases, these were die cast bases. I know the new GMPs, they usually make them out of plastic. Usually they don't. I think Big Red doesn't have the same, I For some reason, in my opinion, in OG GMP, the build quality is just there. Like, I think these are even metal, which is absolutely insane. So I think these, I'm going to guess they're plastic, but I wouldn't be surprised. GMP just had a lot more to them in terms of just how these were made. Like, even the wheels nowadays don't even do that. They don't even click like that. They're just loose and connected to the wheel. So I must say, the drive shaft does not rotate, but I don't expect that on all these models, of course. I would have thought GMP might have done that, but that's okay. Side exit exhaust, and of course no muffler. So that is my full-on review of the Sunoco car. Another thing I wanted to add here, I forgot, the air cleaner. I don't know if this is removable, but it comes like this in the package where it's part of the car, but it doesn't actually connect to the top. But it actually came with a couple of those fender guards they put when you're working on the car. So I'm gonna assume this air cleaner is it's not part of the car. I know that. It's for probably display purposes. So I guess you would just put it out here while they're working on it. So I think that's what this is for. But the air cleaner is actually metal, which is pretty crazy. So speaking of everything being metal, a lot of things being metal on GMPs, this is another example here, the air cleaner being actual metal, which is pretty awesome. So again, I won't be putting the boxes in my videos, but the reviews will definitely start coming. I just have so many boxes in my closet, I just can't get them out for the videos. But unless it's one of the boxes the car is already in that has a clear window. But yep. And I'm actually feeling in a bit of a Trans Am mood, either today or eventually I'll wind up getting around to reviewing my Welly Mustang, and we might wind up doing a couple more racing cars. So yeah, there you go. And for your place for diecast reviews and some news, check out the J-Man 63 for more hunts and fun. See you guys later. Leave a comment and like. All right, bye-bye.